What's up, everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, founder and president of the creditrepairshop.com. And in today's video, we're going to talk about SOL, statute of limitations, the different uh, differences from state to state. Also, there's certain differences between a communications debt like cell phone, your home electricity, or cable bill than it is from a credit card debt or a auto loan or a payday loan, those types of debts. We're going to talk about the which is the same thing, but people call it time barred debt. And I'm going to explain that in detail so you can see what people actually say, what they mean when you hear that term. And then also going to talk about there's a lot of misconceptions where people are just got videos out there saying don't pay debt collectors, and there's people out there getting sued in court. They see this on YouTube saying not my videos because I tell you the truth, but they see videos on YouTube saying don't never pay a debt. Well, I'm going to clarify what they're leaving out because though they're just making videos, we make videos and we deal with clients, real life situations. And so that's what I'm gonna clarify with you. So uh, before I get into it, and I'm gonna flip the screen over to show you where I won't be in here, is before we get to that, I want you to click the notification bell. We gotta get this channel up higher than it is right now. I'm kind of embarrassed. I must admit, I'm kind of embarrassed for the type of help that we're offering from what I see out there with other people, with the way that they just take you into a circle and not really give you solutions. We are way behind with this channel, and I need for you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Uh, click the notification bell so you can be notified because you must be willing to also do your part to help people. I'm giving you this information for free, and at least at minimum on your part is you can subscribe to the channel, get notified when new videos are posted, so you can help YouTube find other people with similar questions and situations so we can help them also with these free videos. So I need you to do that. Like the videos, subscribe to the channel. This is something that I'm asking you to do. Uh, Flat out, I'm asking you to do it. Okay, someone posted on comments, why do I repeat myself a lot? I repeat myself a lot because it's like exercising for people. If you look at the comments, people are asking me the same questions. So you never know where an individual's uh, credit and debt situation, where they're at in their specific situation compared to yours. So I'm always going to repeat. I'm going to repeat and talk about things as if you're coming from the bottom. And then if you're already in the middle or close to the top, fine, fine. But that doesn't mean that we leave people at the bottom. And that's why I repeat. So if you don't like me repeating, all you have to do is skip along on the video and get to the portion that for your where you're at for your specific situation. But I'm going to take it as if everyone that watches my videos are coming from the bottom, because that means that we're helping the person at the lowest level and we're bringing them up to where you are and then bringing all of you up to where I am. So now let's get right to it with the statute of limitations. I'm going to pause the video and share my screen. All right, let's first show the statute of limitations by state. This is my state. I'm sorry, this is my website, thecreditrepairshop.com. If you go to my blog and if you type in statute, it'll pop up the listing of statute of limitations. And this is by state. So you can see Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, statute of limitations for written contracts, oral contracts, promissory notes, open-end accounts, including credit cards. You can see where every state is different. You can see Alabama, 3 years. If they haven't communicated with you, the difference is if they haven't uh, attempted to collect on that debt, they just left it dormant. You can get out of paying that debt legally, not where you're just like some loophole, or how some people may say it like it's some type of loophole. No, this is legal. If a creditor does not attempt to collect the debt, and you haven't done anything to reauthorize the time frame on the debt, such as making a small payment, even if it's $10, or signing some type of contract to allow it to reset. If you haven't done anything like that, you simply just have to send them a letter stating that the debt that you're trying to collect is past the statute of limitations, and uh, they have to stop. And I'm going to put a link below this video so you could see what the letter that we use. I'm going to give it to you for free so you can download that letter and you can have that in your back pocket, or if you need to use it now. But this is, if you go to my website, if you type in statute of limitations, you can see this is all the different ones. All the states is different for every state. Some of them are 6 years. These, look at these, 10 years. But there's this has a 5 or 10 year on for Illinois, 5 or 15. These are going to be for certain types of debt. So you uh, uh, they're giving you where some debts may be like for this one here, 10 years for a written contract, but some of them may only last for 5 years. It just depends on what type of debt it is. And you can, look for your specific state to get an understanding on that. But you can see here, all of the states are different. 3 years. I think the lowest one is 3 years, and then the highest are 10 years. And in my state here, 6 years for Wisconsin. Now, these are for normal, just to reiterate, these are for normal debts such as credit card bills, auto loans, um, payday loans, personal loans, mortgages, department store cards, any of those types of debts. That's what these would pertain to. Now let's go into some other types. Okay, before we go into the other types with the statute of limitations, I also want to make sure you understand the differences between statute of limitations on a debt that they can collect and statute of limitations on a debt that can be reported. Because a lot of people seem to get that confused where they're like, um, they cannot collect this debt because it's past the statute of limitations to collect in my state, but they're still reporting it on my credit reports. They can report it on your credit reports for 7 years, and they state if you want to go by the book, quote, by the book, 7.5 years, you can dispute the debt to have it removed. Obviously, we don't go by the book with the credit repair shop, and you shouldn't go by the book. If a debt is past the statute of limitations to collect in your state, you should immediately, if you were just letting it sit there and you found out you didn't work with any credit repair company, you just found out that it's past statute of limitations, you want to get it removed, you can get that removed, but you got to go through the process of first notifying the debt collector or the original creditor that this debt is past statute of limitations, cannot legally be collected. They will send you a letter, and then you use that letter to come back around to the bureaus to get it removed, and you will most likely get that removed before the 7 year statute of limitations to be reported on your credit reports. So there's a statute of limitations to be reported on your credit reports, which is 7 years for a negative or a positive account. And then there's a statute of limitations on if it can be collected, and that's what we were talking about here. And I see a lot of people get those two confused. You can actually have it reach the statute of limitations here and not be able to be collectible for the debt, and they still choose to keep it on here without a fight. Or even if you are fighting, they can choose to keep it on your credit reports for up to 7 years. So that's why it always takes work and time to get something off that is not going to come off by the book. And you can see right here stated that there are some accounts that stay on people's credit reports past the 7 years, and they're just trying to tell you by the book, if you give them another 6 months and they don't do it, then you need to just go ahead and dispute to get it removed. So now here's another article that I had found about time. Well, before I mention time bar debt, for statute of limitations for cell phone debt, communications type debts, cable bill type debts, there is a different statute of limitations for those types of debts. And you can see right here, cell phone debt has a federal statute of limitations for 2 years. After the statute of limitations have expired on that debt, it is considered time barred. What the meaning of time barred means, which means that it's past statute of limitations. But debt collectors can still try to collect it because people don't know, they don't understand that they don't have to pay a debt that's past statute of limitations. But if you've been watching my videos, you know that you don't. But if a debt collector sends you a letter and they use this term, time barred debt, they won't use this one, zombie debt, but they will use the word time barred. We are attempting to collect a time barred debt. You may misunderstand the meaning of what that means, but they're notifying you that in legal terms that you do not have to pay the debt, but because you may not be educated on what time barred debt means when they say it to you, you think that it's just a debt that has been over time. And then you make a small payment, even if it's $5, you are resetting the time period that they can collect that debt from you. Debt collectors are being very slick and getting terms added to what they can say that mean the same thing. Time barred is the same thing as statute of limitations, but it's just said a different way. And if you mess up and you agree to paying a debt, you will be resetting the time. Okay, so now the next thing I want to talk about is not paying a debt collector. There are a lot of people that are falling into the trap of, they're saying that they're watching videos and they're listening to people saying you do not have to pay a debt. And I'm going to go to our website real quick. Just wanted to put my website on to finish it out uh, because why advertise somebody else's page? There's a lot of videos out there and they're telling people not to pay debt. I was on a long call with a young lady Friday talking about she had expressed where she had saw all these videos and they was talking about not paying the debt, and she said it just seemed too good to be true. And I was telling her it is absolutely too good to be true because they're only telling you part of the story. I just gave you the part of the story that they always seem to want to leave out, which is they're saying don't pay a debt. You don't have to pay a debt, but they're not explaining the background behind that, which is don't pay a debt if it's past statute of limitations. Don't pay a debt if it's a communications debt and it's past the 2 year statute of limitations. Don't pay a debt if they can't prove that it's you by doing a complete validation of the debt. Don't pay a debt if they can't prove with the original contract. That's what they're leaving out. But they just get everybody to click through on their videos, and they're giving everybody half the stories. They're not a true business. They're just popping up videos to get people to watch them so they can earn whatever they can from YouTube. And they don't care if it doesn't work for you. They don't care about going into the next step where if your debt is validated, if your debt is not past the statute of limitations, oh, what are they going to say to do then? When they take you to court, they send you a court summons. Are you going to jump up there in front of the judge and say, well, this YouTube guy on YouTube said I don't have to pay the debt? The judge is going to say, oh, okay, where is the guy from YouTube? Okay, what did he tell you to do? All he did was say, don't pay the debt, never pay the debt. Okay, you're in trouble. Uh, Default judgment for the plaintiff, and now you have a garnishment coming up the pipe pretty soon. I never tell my clients to do anything like that. What I tell my clients to do is number one, you check the statute of limitations on the debt. You respond to the demand that they send you for a debt collection. Number three, if the debt is not past statute of limitations, they prove by validating the debt when you submit your response, then you go into a settlement phase. That is logical. That is the real world situation. If they summons you to court, you forgot to respond to the demand letter. They summons you to court. You do a validation. They don't provide the information. You stand up in front of the judge. They did not validate the debt. I asked for dismissal. I gave them enough time to respond. The judge says that's logical. Case dismissed. This happens all the time for my clients. It happened for me personally. Uh, you get summons to court, you do a validation. They prove everything. They give you all the documentation, not just a receipt, not just a statement. They give you your original contract. They prove the balances. They prove with your payments all of the original information from the original creditor. Okay, let's move to a settlement phase. That's logical. That makes sense. The judge understands that. You go to the back room, you work out a deal, and you're able to move forward. You're not left hanging there like other YouTube uh, people on YouTube have you do. This is real world situations. So I'm going to end the video there. I hope that this was good instruction. It might be repeat instruction for some of you, but you got to get it drilled into your head. This is the only way you're going to have success. And I would thank everyone for watching the videos. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. Please go to thecreditrepairshop.com if you need help with your credit. Please go to the number 3 scores.com if you need your credit reports and scores. That is one way that I support the channel. And I want to thank everyone again, and I want everyone to have a great day.